little fan of you. Oh, 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 oh. Hey, 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 hey. You got the cannibal. Hey, hey, baby, I'm a fan of you. Your sensation, my fixation. Just tell me that it's tangible. Hey, hey, baby, I'm a fan of you. Hey, hey, hey. Your sensation is my fixation.
Say don't play with me, but I still gamble with it. We getting right before we take off on the landing strip. Know that you like all the attention that a fan Tonight, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's Week 8 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the New York Giants taking on the Green Bay Packers.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
And he's got to be feeling pretty good about his individual performance from last week's game. I mean, he did throw 4 touchdown passes, so he's in sync with his receivers, and they're very confident. Did have 1 interception.
Yeah, the 1 pick.
And
they lost.
Yeah, so no matter how many touchdowns he threw, if it comes in a loss, he's not going to be satisfied.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down. You talk about this Giant defense. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the number 1 overall passing team in the NFL. But it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Love. And he's got his tight end. That's Dre. And he's going to be brought down right there after the catch at the 34. But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line, got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Well, this defense for the Giants very strong in that victory a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Now a 2nd down throw for Love here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 3rd and 4. To throw now. Here's Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver, complete. Inside the 20. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. The last series for them a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. First down, going to the air with Love. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Seven yards on the return after a punt of 39. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. But Charles, you know, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
You look at this Packers defense. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
They spent the week at practice, and we know our rating's not that great. And we know we're facing the #1 passing team in the league. But there are some things that we can do to give ourselves a chance in this game.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now a first carry for their fullback. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The Giants at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it, and that's what they're trying to get done here.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy set the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. A give to the fullback on the dive. And the agility got him a few extra before he's taken down right at the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. Singletary will take this one in. Touchdown, New York. Another impressive drive. So they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Point after try forthcoming. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A 10-play drive that time, and it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Love. Right side to Watson. Finding room at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now a toss to the left for Jacobs. And this Giants defense getting off the ball quickly. They stop him behind the line again. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple of plays, these guys been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on 3rd. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Love looking to throw it to the right side and intercepted. And the Giants are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake, but I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
You ain't got nothing. Mike 7, Buffalo 18. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. 7's a Mike. I got you. I got you. 7's a Mike. Mike 7.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. 16 more on that one and another first down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. A give up the middle to Singletary. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. It's the fullback with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Giants have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. To pass, here's Jordan Love. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Love. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Love now. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Powering forward, busts through the tackle. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Let's spotlight Devin Singletary as this offense comes back out. You start prorating these rushing numbers and looking ahead, he could be on pace for a 2,000-yard season. I don't want to jinx him, but what a year to this point.
But you just did.
Sorry?
That's okay. No, he can overcome that,
I'm not
right?
apologizing to you.
No.
Okay?
I like your attitude. But you're right. What's got to happen for it to actually occur? Offensive line has continued blocking the way they've been blocking. He has to stay healthy. But also, it's not just the idea that he's going to run the football, but he got to run it against numbers that dictate you throwing the football. Sometimes when you have 6 to block and you only have 5 guys, you've got to block them anyway, and he has to make someone miss as well the rest of the year.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is caught inside the 5. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 52 yards.
That's how you flip field position. What a play right there. That nearly went the distance. Credit this defense for not giving up. They get him down just short of the goal line, but the damage is done. It's going to be 1st and goal from an ideal position.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Devin Singletary, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Giants continue to pull away here in this first half.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 28-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing. Love. And Watson has it right side.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally, I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now let's spotlight Devin Singletary as this offense comes back out. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
A good game there on first down. That run will get him 7 up to the 32-yard line.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on first down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage with the big man setting the tone physically.
Singletary, they'll go up the middle, and he'll get about 3 up close to the 35. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
On the give, this is Singletary. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 10 yards, good for a giant first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Well, they've certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Mike 7.
They'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They run here with Singletary, and they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. Again, it'll be Singletary, and he is in. Touchdown, New York. Devin Singletary on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Giants open the lead up to 34-0.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Now the extra point. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Love now to pass on first down.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it's second down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Well, the pressure gets to Love, and he'll go down.
It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right at the 35. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Singletary to get the drive started.
And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Joe Burrow leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll stay in the AFC North and head over to Cleveland to check on the Browns. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Nick Chubb, a touchdown run in the victory. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville, see what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Trevor Lawrence leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone.
Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick.
And the half will begin with a touchback.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. The 3rd quarter starts with a run by Singletary, and this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Brandon, you know how we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan? That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball, and in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
Let's go, defense. Here we go.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing right, and that's complete. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
On the handoff, it's Singletary. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 94 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
56, right there, 56. In your face.
They'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. They will run with Singletary. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
7's a Mike. 19 Lion. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, huh? Mike 7. Mike 7. You better be able to go.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 25 yards that time. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass.
56 to Mike, boys. 56.
They'll look to run with Singletary. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
56.
Singletary again. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Devin Singletary taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Giants take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Now for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun. Love. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, Love. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. That's pulled in at the 32. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
Well, let's spotlight Devin Singletary as this offense comes back out.
I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. A give to the fullback on the dive. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
There's a lot of good on that play when we see the big fella take it and rumble into the secondary. But how about the big part of it? Taking care of the football. He doesn't carry it very often, but when he does, he's got to make sure that he doesn't get it popped free. Unlike Mike Tolbert in Super Bowl 50, carrying the ball popped free, turnover, and it hurt his team.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Mike's 56. Mike's 56. Here we go.
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
26 Mike. 26 Mike. It's our time. It's our time. 26 Mike. 26 Mike.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's 3rd down.
It's our field.
On play action, they'll throw.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Touchdown, Giants. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Giants' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was finished up by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go.
Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Love from the gun. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. On 3rd down, Love. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Here we go. 10 black. 40. I got one. Mike 40. Mike. Cut. Ready. 40's Mike. 40's Mike.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
40's the Mike. Squeeze.
Again, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
4 receivers split out here. It's 3rd and 8.
Oh, yeah. And here we go.
Back to throw again. And that is incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Now there's a good chunk of yardage picked up there, and the big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary.
And this will be a Giants 1st down as he gets this up past the 30.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go right back to Singletary. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9 now.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They're going to look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. A give up the middle to Singletary. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 20. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 159 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. They'll try and run with their fullback. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Giants get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent, and they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts. And
the giant rush gets home as down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Love. And Watson has it right side. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Fielded just inside the 30. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And New York set to take the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but They've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
168 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Singletary again. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Singletary, they'll go up the middle, pushing through the contact, and brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
You say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Back to throw now on first down. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. From the 4, this is 2nd down and 1. On the give, this is Singletary. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
56 the mark, boys. 56. Check 56. You must be getting tired of seeing me.
They'll try to run this one in. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on first down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. It's the fullback. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. And he will find his man on the outside. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Love. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun. Love working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you've mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Finds his receiver, Watson. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 34-yard line. Jacobs going to try the middle. And some strong running. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 3. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He'll complete this one to Watson. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another 1st down on the pickup of 5 yards. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all.
Ready, break. 53, Mike. I'm trying to collect. Check. 53.
first down. Love to pass. And a quick throw here. That's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential, but when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Fourth down and no hesitation from Matt LaFleur as he sends out the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 46. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and they will remain well behind.
Possession switching back to the New York Giants. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
212 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 2.
He'll drop to throw. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
And this has been the story all night long. They just came out firing and have not backed off, even with the big fourth quarter lead. Here's another completion for big yardage.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10.
Two times. 3 down.
They go play action here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the footballs. They've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
On second down, Love once more.
That's taken in by Watson.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run.
That one out wide and intercepted.
And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest, but now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick them off for the second time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly, but they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
That one looks like he'll throw here. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a map.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Extra point attempt to come here. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them in plus territory. Excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
That's complete. He finds Jaden Reed.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player up.
And the ball comes out. Love lost it. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, And the other one, obviously, not ready at all.
Boy, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep. So for the Giants, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
smiley face emoji. May not be age appropriate, but I will fit an 8-year-old indeed with a participation trophy. Plus, I have zero doubts that this whole world's about to turn into some Girl Scouts. That censorship bureau's out. So when I started this verse, it did start off lighthearted at first, but it feels like I'm targeted. Mind-boggling how my profit is skyrocketed. Look what I pocketed. Yeah, it's just like y'all have been like.
Sometimes you gotta lose yourself to find yourself again. Welcome back, Marlena.
One for the money and one for the homies. I move with respect, I don't need nothing on me. The Father may wait for me, feel just like Bronny. I got my little belly, my blessings, they on me. They rain and they rain, yeah, you see how I'm coming. Come on. It sound like we drumming. I reach on my goals, like my nephew be dope. Back on the rims, riding on rims. Came in all black to that, I came back to my to that ripping off Cadillac. Feel like a Cadillac, nothing but class. It's never been average, never been on. Averix on me, I'm tougher than homie Javante. The fight is my mantra, I want it, I will. Get you a wheel, they carry it. We fighting a lead, my is all. I'm back in my bag, I'm back in my bag, I'm gone. Back in my duffel, don't fear no opponent. You know I'm gon' hustle like rubber band on it. Counting my blessings, I'm laughing like Jonah. You don't wish me well, I guess you don't know me. Got all these like Malcolm and Sadie. That's word to my mama, tatted on my body. My left arm, they ain't left arm, they still doing harm. Bodies on bodies, cried over Malcolm, I cried over Dolphin. I'm crying for Nipsey, been feeling like Lauren. Carried the cross, got the sun in my eyes. Groom for this, I ain't meant to be no bride. I'm married, but I know you still feel obliged. Bounce on these, I learned from Sanaa. Back in my bag and it's big as a duffel. With blessings on blessings, I came through this struggle, I'm back.
I'm back in my bag, I'm back in my bag on guard. I'm back in my bag, I'm back in my bag on guard.
Yeah, yeah. I came through the rain and I came through the thunder. I push through the pain, I'm laughing at summer. My hair was way hotter, I feel like a soda. Escape with my teeth, I came back like Nirvana. Throat is all rocky, it's nothing I real. Go back to back, baby, can't no one here see us. Stomach it all tied, look like a Leah. Went back and forth and back, just like a cornerback. Yeah, yeah, you got veins, I respect whole veins. Tell them get low, man. Just flying high, I gave them low, man. Two for the color the whip. Culinary on my wrist, cooking you, I ain't forgot what you did.